You are not the good guy. You think you are. You've built your whole identity around it. But the reason you keep losing in relationships, in rooms, in your career is hiding right inside that belief. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Because the answer doesn't live out there. There's a behavioral pattern called the gamma male. And before you think this is another internet ranking system, it's not. It's a real psychological trap. And what makes it dangerous isn't that it makes you weak. It's that it convinces you you're one of the good ones while life keeps proving otherwise. Here's the type. He avoids conflict. He shows up for people. He listens for hours. He helps without being asked. But in his chest, he's keeping score. Every favor, every time he bit his tongue, every time he stayed when he wanted to leave. He believes, without ever saying it out loud, that tab is going to get paid. When it doesn't, everything unravels. I'm going to show you exactly how. But first, you need to understand the engine running all of it. The covert contract. Picture this guy. Call him Daniel. He's been close to a girl for almost 2 years, best friend. Drives her places at midnight, listens to every story about every wrong guy she dates. He's never told her how he feels, but quietly, he tells himself, she'll figure it out. All this showing up will speak for itself. One day, she starts seeing someone else. He's not just hurt, he's betrayed, furious. But betrayed by what? She never made him a promise. The feeling, that specific feeling of being robbed without anyone taking anything, is called a covert contract, an agreement nobody else signed. You write the terms privately. You hold up your end. You expect the world to hold up its end. And when it doesn't, you feel cheated. Even though no one agreed to anything, this runs millions of lives. And the painful part? The guy inside it genuinely believes he's just being a good person. That belief is the trap. The signal you're actually sending. Here's what stings. When everything you do comes from a hidden need to be chosen, people feel it. Not with their mind, in their gut. They can't explain it, but they pull away. There's a quiet pressure that builds around someone who needs things from you they've never said out loud. It feels like a weight, like the friendship has a price tag nobody agreed to pay. And the people most tuned into social dynamics, the ones who move through rooms with ease, who get the promotion, who people naturally want around, they pick up on that signal fastest. What they're sensing isn't that you're kind, it's that your kindness is conditional. Here's what actually separates the men people follow from the men people just tolerate. They don't adjust based on how the room reacts. Their mood doesn't shift based on whether anyone clapped. They do what they do, regardless. The gamma male does nothing without checking, even without realizing it, whether someone noticed. The resentment spiral, and here's where it turns dark. The contract fails, it always does, because nobody else knew it existed. When the girl he quietly waited on chooses someone else. When the promotion goes to the guy who contributed less. When the friend group slowly stops calling. Picture Daniel sitting in his car outside her building at 11 p.m. She didn't call. He just showed up. Again. And she didn't even text back. That's where the spiral starts. He doesn't look inward, he looks outward. She's shallow. He just got lucky. Good people don't win in this world. And that story feels true because it has real evidence. There are shallow people who win. There are frauds who get promoted. But told often enough, that story becomes a cage. Every loss adds another bar. So he gives more, tries harder, becomes more suffocating. The strategy never changes because the narrative says the problem is always everyone else. The wall keeping him stuck isn't out there. It's inside him. The self-deception layer. This usually doesn't start in adulthood. It starts in a home where being agreeable was the only safe option, where anger got punished, where being useful was the only way to feel wanted. So a kid learns, stay small, be helpful, don't ask, earn your place. And for a child, that works. But the same child becomes an adult who still can't ask for what he wants, who wraps that inability in virtue, who calls it being a good person and never looks underneath. Because underneath is something he can't say out loud, a quiet belief that all this niceness entitles him to what other people have to ask for directly. That's not generosity. That's a wound that learned to wear a costume, and you cannot fix what you refuse to look at. What breaking out actually feels like. The exit from this pattern doesn't feel like a power-up, not at first. It feels like grief, because the first honest thing you sit with is this. A lot of what you called giving wasn't. It was quietly asking, without the words. That's hard to hold about yourself. But on the other side of that, something becomes possible. You want something, you say it, you do a favor, no strings. You walk away from something wrong without building a case about who's to blame. Not overnight. But the direction becomes clear. You stop performing goodness and start being honest. And the moment that shift happens, the pressure in your relationships disappears. Not because you became cold, because you became clear. Clarity does what niceness never could. Here's the truth this whole video has been building toward. Nice guys don't finish last because the world punishes good people. They finish last because the behavior was never fully clean. There was a contract running underneath, and everyone around them, without knowing why, could feel it. The men who actually win in relationships, at work, in life, aren't the most aggressive. They're the most honest about what they want, about who they are, about what they will and won't accept. That shift from managing how people see you to just being straight with them is the real game. Not nice to aggressive, not kind to cold, hidden to honest. If something in this landed somewhere uncomfortable, that's exactly where the real work lives. The psychology we refuse to look at is always the psychology running us. If this shifted something in you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe. This channel doesn't exist to flatter you. It exists to help you see clearly. Make sure to subscribe, because my next deep dive on narcissistic collapse, what happens when you finally expose them, goes live on Friday. See you in the next.